Hi guys, welcome back. As promised, I am giving you a follow-up to our video for anxiety. And this is going to be a little bit different. I am going to speak a little bit fast, just because I want to get a lot of content in and not in a lot of time. Two things that I do want to focus on is a little bit about what really causes anxiety. So looking at those inner things, right? What's the core of anxiety for some people? And then I wanted to give you a quick tip on how you can start to face your anxiety. First things that I think that a lot of people struggle with is not understanding that they are not the only ones going through this. So when you have these intrusive thoughts, which is a certain type of anxiety, right? We usually break down anxiety into two types, worrying about the past or worrying about the future. When we speak about worrying and we're looking at intrusive thoughts, right? So intrusive thoughts are like those little thoughts that kind of like pop into your head and you're like, okay, where did that come from? Or you might even go, that is completely bizarre. I'm losing my shit. Nobody can know that entered my head. But you'd be surprised at how many people actually have these thoughts. And the reason that these thoughts pop into your head, like randomly wanting to slap somebody for no reason, it's true. And you're probably thinking that has happened. It's gone in my mind. Not out of anger, but just out of anxiety, like very random. Or what if I crash my car right now? These are real issues that people have, but are afraid to speak of. And what happens is that we don't understand as humans how our brain works and how an accelerated system, right? Our nervous system being so accelerated and fatigued starts to give us these thoughts. It's almost actually a good thing because our nervous system is supposed to help us survive, right? And part of survival is anticipating what could happen. And anticipating what can happen usually is what causes anxiety, right? And on top of that, if you're a very creative or intelligent person, you're going to have a gajillion different scenarios. Well, guess what? Those gajillion scenarios that are helping you stay alive are also giving you anxiety. So that's one thing that I wanted to cover with you guys. The second thing is looking at this worry thing, right? So worry versus regret, okay? When we're saying we worry about something and that's a core of our anxiety, we are worrying about what is happening or what is going to happen. These are the what ifs, okay? What ifs also happen with regret. What if I would have done that? These tend to be two common core issues that arise that give people anxiety. I kind of challenge you guys that when these thoughts are coming into your head to jot them down. Again, you're going to hear me say journaling a lot because I love it. Journal it. Write down what is it that you're worrying about. So that way you can try to start to get an idea to the core. The first 5 things that you write down might not even be significant. But as you continue to write, or even in one of those things, we might have a clue. It's like being a detective, right? If you've ever played Clue or you like detective games, you like mystery games, this is what you're doing with your anxiety, okay? This is what we do in therapy with anxiety. Sometimes some of us really want to help you get to that core, okay? And a lot of times when we talk about that worry, we're also at the core of it. What we usually tend to find commonly is that we as humans worry about being accepted. Are we loved? Are we loved enough? Are we going to be rejected? Okay, this is a real fear for people. And it makes sense. If we were, rejected thousands of years ago, right? In the Renaissance times, they threw you into the woods. What would happen? The likelihood of you surviving would go down. Why? Because we need people to survive. And not only that, but we like it. It releases endorphins. It makes us feel good. We can do all these extra things that I don't need to go into detail about. But essentially, it's important. Hopefully you understood all that. And if you didn't, make a comment or ask me, DM me, and I will clarify. A second thing is regret. So this is us that are stuck in the past. Regret about what we haven't done, what we didn't do, what we wanted to do, what we should have said. If you're speaking specifically to my females out there, we know we do it. I should have said XYZ in the argument. That would have been a really good line. That's us actually worrying. That's us giving ourselves anxiety. Why are we even thinking about an argument, 3 days later, a few hours later? Because we will think about it for days on end, months on end sometimes. But regret is one of those things that can be a huge trigger for our anxiety, and it keeps it alive. It's like pouring this worry and this regret on the future and on the past is like pouring gasoline onto our anxiety, and it's going to make it worse. Okay. So like I said, I challenge you guys that if you think that you're in one of these or even in both of these, to really try to figure out where it is that it's coming from. Try to jot it down, try to think about it, even talk to somebody. Maybe they'll hear something that you're not picking up on. That's a great strategy as well. On to a way to deal with the anxiety. You probably have not heard this because many people don't usually operate on this way. A lot of therapists work on management of anxiety. I'm more focused on the healing of anxiety, right? Let's just get rid of it. And part of that getting rid of it, and there's lots of different books to support this, is let it come on. My clients look at me sometimes and think I'm crazy, but when they tell me they have a panic attack or they're having anxiety, I'm like, that's fantastic. And they're like, what? You lost me. And I'm like, when you have your anxiety, tell it, come on, let's go. Right? By you doing that, you are confronting it and you're letting yourself know that you're not scared of the symptoms. Okay? Because that is exactly what anxiety really is. It is our reaction to our worry, not worry itself. Everybody worries, right? But not everybody has anxiety. But the people that have anxiety is that we get worried about what happens because we're worrying. Our heart rate increases. It's hard to breathe. We have certain thoughts. Our palms get sweaty, right? So then we get scared of that reaction. And that's where the anxiety really starts to manifest and then stays. Okay. So first step, bring it on. I'm going to go total nerd on you guys right now. And I am going to give you an example of Harry Potter. So if you are a Harry Potter fan, this is going to go great for you. If you are not, sorry for you. It's going to go right over your head, but you'll still get the picture. We wanted to make things look ridiculous, right? So us going head on, anxiety, let's go, is us challenging it, right? And looking at how ridiculous sometimes some of our thoughts really are. That's ridiculous, whatever. I'm not even going to let it bother me. So in Harry Potter, there is a scene with Bogarts, I think, and they open up a case and they have to think of what scares them the most. But what happens when what scares them the most comes out is that it is actually something funny. So for instance, Neville is scared of his grandmother and his grandmother comes out looking crazy. Ron is scared of snakes. I don't remember correctly, but I think it turns into like a big clown, right? This is essentially what we want to try to do with anxiety, right? We want to make it look ridiculous. We want to make it look like, listen, your anxiety, you want to come around, but I can handle you. Okay. Instead of trying to fight off the feelings, which is just going to make our nervous system continue to fight and make it kind of worse. Okay. So this is a new concept for some of you and it might be a little bit confusing. I promise I will give you more content on this. Maybe I'll even blog about it tonight so that you have some written follow-up to it and something a little slower that you can actually read through. The next video that I plan on doing will be for progressive muscle relaxation, and that is going to be for adults and for children. Okay, so I will give you one for yourself, and then I will give you one that if you have kids, I recommend even if they don't have anxiety doing it. It's a really good strategy to have for them. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, give me feedback. If you did, give me feedback. If you have more questions, ask me. I'm here. Okay? Take care.